2822 Now presents Community Newsmakers with your host, Jane Ann Bugda.
Hi everyone, welcome to Community Newsmakers. I'm Jane Ann Bugda, and this show is designed to highlight, put the spotlight on individuals, groups, organizations that make our communities better every day. And today, your opportunity to help highlight someone through our Remarkable Woman contest. And that's what we're going to talk about in this next half hour. I am joined by two remarkable women who I work with every day. Rebecca Stitzer, who is the WBRE, WYOU Creative Service Director, and our Julie Duffy, who is a 2822 news anchor who we see all the time on the air. And both Becky and Julie are very involved in the Remarkable Woman. Becky oversees the entire contest, which we are now taking nominations for, and then Julie gets the great honor of introducing us to the women that are in the running for the finalists, and we get to share their stories. So today we're going to hopefully inspire people out there watching to nominate the remarkable woman in their lives. So let's start. This is our 6th year, right?
Starting our 6th year. Yep.
So tell us a little bit about the history, Becky, of the Remarkable Women contest.
So this is a nationwide contest that's sponsored by Nexstar Media Group, who is the owner of WBRE. And it is in every market in the United States, including markets that are covered by the CW Network and News Nation. And we put on a contest looking for remarkable women across the country. You can nominate somebody right here in Northeast Pennsylvania, and one remarkable woman will be selected as our grand prize winner, and she will go on to travel to Nashville, Tennessee this year to be part of the nationwide Remarkable Woman celebration that is sponsored by Nexstar.
So we're currently started, we kicked off now, we're already getting ready to accept nominations. Yep. Tell us how someone can nominate someone, and we'll repeat this a couple times throughout the show so people know what they're doing.
So you can nominate somebody by going to our website under the contest tab, and you just need to enter in her information, her name, a way for us to contact her, and then an essay not to exceed 500 words telling us why she is remarkable and why she is deserving of the grand prize.
And when you hear essay, people think, oh my goodness, what do I have to write? You just have to just tell us what makes this woman special in your life.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't being graded. No college professors are involved. You just have to write a 500-word essay telling us what makes her fantastic. And we're looking for everybody. I think some people think that it has to be somebody maybe in the nonprofit sector, but I mean, it could be anybody. It could be your mom. It could be your sister. It could be your best friend. We're looking for people who are in all different professions, education or healthcare, even law enforcement. In the past, we've had many nominees who are part of nonprofits that they have created, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be anyone.
And it's women that are young or the young at heart. So there's no age limit on this.
Certainly not.
I believe you have to be 18.
18.
Right. But I mean, the sky is the limit there. Last year we had some nominations up in the 80s, and they were doing brilliant things. Yeah. And we'll share more about that.
Oh
later
yeah, we'll
on.
be talking about them. We get wonderful, and it's a very difficult contest to judge because everybody is so worthy and everybody is out there doing special things in our community that sometimes we don't know about. But are there any changes to this year's contest?
Well, this year the grand prize winner is going to go to Nashville, Tennessee. In previous years, she went to Los Angeles, but they're trying to showcase different parts of the country. There's fun things to do in all these cities. So where she'll be treated to celebrities and a lot of entertainment, and just get to meet all the other remarkable women across the country. It's everybody who goes says it's a remarkable trip.
And we'll be showing some video of it from last year, but let's take everyone back to April, when we surprised our remarkable woman, who was Lisa Urbanski. And Lisa was with Brighter Journey. She was the creator, and sadly, Lisa was also in a fight with cancer.
Yep.
And passed away in September. But we hope that this, and we know it did, because we heard from her family and friends, made an impact on her, because she didn't realize how much she was loved and cherished in the community. So Joey Nardone is going to roll our video of our story when we went there.
He's here.
I was pulling in the parking lot and I'm going, hey, what are you doing here?
As Lisa Urbanski walks down the hall to a conference room, little does she know her friends and family have been keeping a big secret from her. She thinks she's being interviewed for an upcoming event honoring her friend John Graham. But in reality, the honor is going to her for her tireless devotion to her nonprofit Brighter Journeys, advocating for all children with special needs and their families in NEPA.
Lisa,
Yes.
I'm interviewing you today,
Hi.
but it's not for the reason that you think.
What is this?
Today is all about you because you are the 2025 Remarkable Woman from WBRE and WYOU.
I think we got her. Congratulations, Lisa. I'm Andy Wyatt. I'm the general manager. And we're going to make a $1,000 donation in your name to the charity of your choice. We think we might know
I think
which one
so.
you'll pick, right?
It's going to be Brighter Journeys.
Brighter Journeys.
You're surprised?
Yeah, you got me.
Humble and not easily duped,
I always know everything.
Lisa is shocked as more than a dozen family and friends pulled one over on her in an epic way to announce she is our Remarkable Woman for 2025. Yet after all the hugs, balloons, flowers, and cake, it still takes a moment for this moment to sink in.
Wait, I'm a finalist?
You were a finalist
You're going to California.
in the national.
We're the winner.
Jeannie, we won?
We won.
You
won.
Because you truly are remarkable.
That's when we see it now, we get filled up because we see, Lisa, and she was so happy, and I think you could attest to this, that when we announce a lot of these winners, they are surprised. I mean, they're
We make sure they're surprised.
and they are. If you want a surprise party, call Becky. Right?
No, we reach out to the person who nominated them, and we coordinate the whole surprise, so they don't know it's coming. And that was a lot to plan. Her friends and her family were fantastic in helping us. We had her believe that she was coming to give an interview for a friend, that there was going to be like a gala and a dinner, and they were making a video to interview her friend, and she was there to speak about him. And when she got there, she actually ran into him in the parking lot. She's like, "What are you doing here?" We were very nervous, but it went off without a hitch, and everything was great.
It was a wonderful day and a wonderful surprise for a remarkable woman. But as we, told Lisa's story, before that, we also had finalists.
Certainly.
And Julie, you had a wonderful opportunity to introduce us to other remarkable women in our area. And we're going to talk a little bit about each of them. So tell us a little bit. I know Zubeen Saeed was that. So tell us a little bit about
Sure.
Zubeen.
She still is currently the president and CEO of Building Blocks Learning Center. They have locations all over our region now. I believe they're up to 12 or 13 locations. Their newest one here in downtown Wilkes-Barre. She started as a babysitter and, some 20 years ago, and her life has changed since then. And she pushed and knew, this is early childhood education is important to me. And she's bought her first center and she took over, and then she just continued on from there, growing, and saw the need here locally, which certainly her resume as where she was several years ago to now is absolutely extraordinary.
And she continues to grow in our community.
Certainly, and her daughter now works there too. So she is also inspiring her own family to get involved. But I also met some of the teachers inside the early childhood center down here in Wilkes-Barre, and they were absolutely incredible with the children, and they're helping the community. I was, with some of the parents as well. And I'm like, hi, do you mind if we take some video of your kids real quick? Because, of course, we want to respect their privacy, and we have plenty of ways to film them without showing their faces. But we want to see a cute baby face once in a while. But, certainly so welcoming. And it seems like a good, tight-knit community there.
And, that's an example of a businesswoman who's in our community working hard, from taking it from the ground up. But you also talk to Sarah Isaac Samuel. Now, this is a different story. This woman had a very, very tragic life,
Right.
but turned it into something different. Tell us a little bit about her.
Yeah, she was a human trafficking victim. And she has the organization Twigs Restoration Ministry. Just wanted to make sure I got that correct. And she's the founder and CEO of that. And now she uses art and music therapy to help victims of human trafficking. And she's also working on getting them relocated. And there's no, specific hub. She does have an office now. So I also kind of want to point out that through us and through being recognized, all of these women have had more opportunities because we're also highlighting them in the community, and they've had so much more attention on them now. So they now have an office, I found out, which is pretty cool. She also has a memoir that we kind of touched base on, and she goes around and teaches at different events and sells the art therapy that some of these survivors create, and then that goes right back into the organization.
So she's touching lives of people that, we normally may not hear about because they have a different type of story. And it was nice to hear about what she's doing in our community as well.
Certainly.
She's very inspiring. They're all
yeah.
inspiring
They
women.
are.
And then we had Jerry Carey, who was in her 80s.
This was a different one.
This was different. Jerry, I got to hand it to her. She's a councilwoman from Clark Summit, but
Yeah, so her
she
her granddaughter nominated her. She jumped out of a plane. She did some skydiving. She's the skydiving nun. But many would know her in her day-to-day life as councilwoman in Clark Summit. But she does more than that. Really, we highlighted her every day because she is incredible every day and remarkable every day. She's a volunteer at firehouses over the years. She's also doing things in the church, doing things with Rotary, the Society of Irish Women. She was Grand Marshal one year. She certainly has been involved in her community in Clark Summit in Lackawanna County for nearly 30 years. She's been sitting on council there and creating and helping with different events up there. So that's her day-to-day. So what is these women's day-to-day is remarkable.
Right.
And that's what we're highlighting.
And she's young at heart because we said she's in her 80s. So
Yeah, I think she was 82 when she did that. When she jumped out.
And that is remarkable because, when you look at that, you think, oh my goodness, I look down here and think, wow, I really admire
Right.
her for doing something.
And there was so much more to tell about all of these women
Right.
as well.
And then, of course, our Janice Gavrin, who's an Air Force
Yes.
veteran, who we know is out there telling the story of women in the military. And as she calls them, her sister soldiers, she's not letting their story go away.
No, absolutely not. She said, if I don't do this, who's going to do this? Who's going to highlight all of the women veterans of Lackawanna, Susquehanna County, across Pennsylvania? She's going into Gino Murley and speaking and highlighting those women veterans as well. And she just is an incredible woman. And she's also doing more than that. We've also talked to her in other capacities. She's really big into drone soccer.
Right.
Which is really cool, but she's trying to get it into high schools and get children more opportunities, and then look towards the military or different areas as well in those branches, because there's so many cool things that these kids like to do, and it's just like playing video games, but drones are used all over in different capacities.
I have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
She Janice is into everything. So, was there a common thread that you saw, or common personality among the women that you interviewed?
Go-getters. Go-getters. And nothing's going to stop them from what they're passionate about, each and every one of them, in their different retrospects. I mean, education or, public service and community, or, veteran services. All of them really have, and human trafficking, something, many people don't think about on their day-to-day. There are people out there doing really good things.
And I think what it is that they are inspiring other people to go on and do what they do. And and you don't have to be a skydiver, you don't have to be a business owner to be remarkable. But what are we looking for? What type? We see these women and we say, wow, I'm not a business owner. I'm not jumping out of an airplane, but what do you see?
Well, like Julie said, we're looking for go-getters. I think one of the hardest things about this whole project is I see the essays that are submitted, and people take such time and effort to say wonderful things about these people in their life, and I wish we could take every single one of them and highlight them. It's tough to have to narrow it down.
I want to show where. Go. I'm sorry.
We've also contacted several people last year because they were nominated, and I wanted to do a story with them and highlight them, and they don't. Some of them don't want to be recognized,
Right, and
because
that's-
that's how true to their heart and their
They're very
goal
humble.
and passionate. Yeah,
And that is true. And there are many women. I do want to show where you can submit a nomination, and you can do it on 2822news.com.
Under the contest tab.
A contest tab. You go there and you can start writing away, start nominating away, and again, 18 years old till whatever.
Yep.
and we see every single nomination that comes in. We're looking
And we read
weekly,
them.
and we read. A panel of judges reads every single one of them. Sometimes there's multiple nominations, but like don't worry, we are reading every single one.
Right,
And
because you learn from everybody's different nomination. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to Hollywood. But you are watching Community Newsmakers. I'm Jane Ann Bugden, and you can find information on today's show on 2822news.com under our Newsmakers link, and we'll be back right after this.
2822 Now presents Community Newsmakers with your host, Jane Ann Bugda. .2822 Now presents Community Newsmakers with your host, Jane Ann Bugda.
Welcome back to Community Newsmakers. I'm Jane Ann Bugda, and today we're talking about the Remarkable Woman Contest that we host every year here at 2822 News, WBRE, WYOU, and we're right now taking nominations. We want to make a quick clarification because we've been saying 18, but it's actually you have to be 21 to enter, so 21 and beyond.
Yes,
So
21.
21 and beyond. So if you're 18, start going and doing something remarkable, and when you hit 21, you'll be
We'll
in our
come find you.
nomination.
A
Right?
couple years to get ready. Yep.
Get ready. And then, of course, you can find all the rules and all the information you need on 2822news.com. But we want to talk about last year when the big winner, this year they're going to Nashville.
going to Nashville.
But we want to show you kind of some of what happens when all the winners from all over the Next Star stations gather. These are the top winning women. Go to the national competition. Last year it was in Hollywood. Let's take a look at some of the fun. And they had fun.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were waving and screaming and yelling. And,
Yes, they have.
how cool.
And you know what it is? It's nice because they all respect each other and what each other
And they get to
does.
connect with each other
Yes, they
too.
do. Yes. In fact, they talked to these women afterwards, and they said that they wish they had more time for networking and meeting these women from across the country. That's part of it's one of the best parts of the whole trip.
And it leads up to the big wrap. They went a lot of places. They
Toured around. They got to meet some celebrities, and they were wined and dined, and they had a good time.
They had a real good time. If the video shows it, and then it leads up to the big celebration. And Lisa Gibbons was the host for the night, and you're going to see the winner. The winner of the competition was Dr. Kim Carter Tillman. She's the founder of the Time for Change Foundation in San Bernardino, California, and she got to take home. This is her getting her when she found out she was their local winner, and then she went off to Hollywood, and she was announced on the stage. They had other women up there with her that were also the runners up.
So we also forgot to mention that the local winner also gets a $1,000 donation to their 501c3 of their choice. So that happens here on the local level, and then this national part is more of a celebration than a contest, but There are some women who will be, they take the judging a little bit further, and there are some new categories this year, which they'll have new awards to hand out. And then there are more donations, and then the grand prize winner, I believe, gets a $25,000
Yes.
donation to her favorite charity. So,
And Dr. Kim, she was her story was remarkable because she came up from a really rough upbringing, and she now helps people in her community who have kind of lost their way, and she gives them a second chapter in their lives. So we want once again to stress how important it is out there to celebrate the women in our community, because sometimes being a woman, you say you don't get actually the recognition that that we need. And here's an opportunity for people at home, to write down their thoughts about the remarkable women in their life. So let's stress it once again. You have to be 21 years old, and tell I know Julie, you read all of the
Right.
all of the.
I mean, there was
last
an
year.
aqua instructor nominated before, teachers, doctors, professors. You're just thinking of any mom or wife. Those are who we're getting these nominations from, or spouses or their children or a peer. And it certainly is inspiring just to read all of these nominations.
And we also think about, when we're thinking women in different careers, we're thinking police officers, women that work for fire departments who are out there, helping every day, teachers, nurses, and like you said, even moms out there, Garza Solisa was a mom who had a passion in her to start something for her son who was disabled, and she created something that'll now be her legacy. And right now, are you trying to break a record for nominations? What was the top number of nominations we've received in this
It was a lot
5
last
years?
year.
we had a lot, and when you think about what people have to do to nominate, it's a couple steps. So we had cleared 100, we had cleared 120. I would love to get to about 150 or more this year. So that would be really neat.
And can you nominate somebody more than once?
No, you can only nominate somebody once. But we've seen instances where somebody might be nominated more than once because they have a couple of people in their life who all feel the same way. But no, you can only nominate one person.
And once again, now the nominations are open. Now,
They're open
when
now.
do they close?
December 19th will be the last day. And then we go into our secret grouping, and
Our little
we
huddle.
go through our little huddle, and we go through, and there's a large committee here of people who pour through these nominations, and we have a judging system. So and then in January we'll do our surprise under the cover of darkness. You won't know that we're doing it. And then the big nomination will be for Women's History Month in March.
And then, of course, we'll also be highlighting some of the finalists in this contest. Women that we saw earlier, like Janice and Jerry and Sabine and I forgot our Sarah, and we'll be sharing their stories as well. Both of you, are heavily involved in this and reading these women. And I know I asked Julie, what struck you about some of them. But is there something that surprises you sometime when you're seeing these nominations for someone that you think, oh my,
How much work they do.
Yeah, I feel kind of
They're
lazy next to them.
day to day outside their 9 to 5 or whatever their normal job is, or nonprofit or what have you, on top of taking care of family and doing other extracurriculars. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. It's really, truly inspiring.
And you can go back to our website and watch all of our stories from the last 5 years and educate yourself on all these different women. I just think out of all the projects that we do here all year round, this is probably my favorite. There's nothing negative about it. Everything, you read these inspiring essays, it's just really neat to see. And there's lots of times where I'm reading an essay and I think, wow, that's happening here?
How have I never heard of her? Right. Because, I mean, we're also in the news
Exactly.
business
Right, we
here.
hear
And
it
I'm
all.
like, how has no one ever tipped us off to this
Right.
incredible woman?
Yeah.
Exactly. Or someone that's out there who's like a doctor or a nurse who has helped someone and has really touched someone's
Right.
life in a way that we may not know because,
Touched
but
and changed for the better.
changed. Right, exactly. Or there's people out there changing, young people's lives that are every day that, in a classroom. Or, you have that police officer on the beat or the firefighter who's out there and is, lugging that heavy fire equipment. I mean, Julia, your husband's a firefighter, so, but I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a woman doing that,
I don't know how they would do it because
Right.
just the helmet itself
Right.
is heavy.
And so out there, when you're looking and you're thinking, and we want everyone to think about the women in their life and nominate.
Yes.
And don't think that someone, you might say, oh, I don't know what to say. Just put down what your heart says and what you believe this woman is doing day to day. And
We all have that person in our life who had our best interest and knew we could do big and great things and nominate her.
And we have 1 minute left. We want to show again. You can nominate on 2822news.com. 21 years old.
21.
We want to say 21 and older. So the young and the younger heart, just nominate, and in a few weeks we'll be sharing their stories. Well, in the new year.
I can't wait.
You can't wait. I know
I can't
Julie's
wait.
waiting to see who
It's so
are
incredible.
next.
It's one of like the best parts of the year, honestly, to share their stories.
Great stories because they're good news stories, and that's what we don't hear enough of.
Yeah.
So we're going to be wrapping it up, but Becky and Julie, thank you so much
Thanks for
for joining us
having
today
us.
on Community Newsmakers. I'm Jane Ann Bugda. You can find information on today's show on 2822news.com under the Newsmakers link. A special thanks to Tony Ingargiola and Matt Gronsky, who helped put together the show, and the man behind the board, Joey Nardone. Thank you, and we'll talk again next time.
2822 Now presents Community Newsmakers with your host, Jane Ann Bugda.